What's up, guys? This is Acid Roots. So I'm gonna review Usher and Zaytoven's A album. So this is a collaboration album, and basically what happened there was they had worked on a previous album, Usher's 2010 album, and they were kind of recording for Usher's next album, which was going to come out this year, 2019. So 2018 they were working on that, and they had some songs that they were doing, and they just kept rolling with it after liking the first couple ones that they did. So Zaytoven, he's a producer for Gucci Mane. He mostly produced for folks out of Atlanta. He's been with Gucci Mane for quite a bit, and it's interesting to see him and his take on R&B, just because I mean mostly Zaytoven does trap beats, but Usher had a pretty stellar single with the first single off this project, which is Peace Sign. Now, this feels just like a regular R&B cut. This has been the type of R&B that I've been missing, that you just don't hear that much when you think of some of the folks that are out. I mean, a lot of folks are trying to incorporate trap, but just in terms of like an old school kind of just bedroom number, stuff like that, it just isn't happening as common. I mean, I think like there's this cat named Jacquees who kind of does it, but really haven't been hearing too much like that. I mean, R. Kelly has kind of changed somewhat, and Trey Songz, from what I listened to of his 2017 album, this is a little bit different. So Peace Sign has a good vibe to it. It's probably the best song on this project, and it really had me itching for like another single to be released. Because I would have liked, with Usher and Zaytoven dropping a whole collaboration album, to have at least another song to know from the duo that would be like the second most popular. Maybe they didn't know how it was going to work, or maybe they just wanted to just give you that. I mean, either way, the promotion was brief, and that was kind of the thing. If I had to pick one, I'd probably say it should have been Birthday. I think a second music video should have come out. That probably would have been the one. That's another up tempo and kind of quicker song. It did feel like maybe almost like a club song, something kind of in between, maybe pubs, something dance related could play it. But yeah, I mean, it worked. There are two guests on this project, and both of the songs that the guests are on are some more hits. But I mean, a lot of this does try to do some of trap music, like I was saying. It basically tries to do trap style, because that's been popular. R&B is even blended with trap, but I really did want another song like Peace Sign and Birthday. So that this is like the thing, is you do get the hits, but it's probably, and it has at least more than two good songs, but it just depends on how much you like the certain genre. I mean, Atlanta is very much like the core of where a lot of hit music is coming from, so you just have to adopt some of the styles that are going on. I mean, two folks who are from Atlanta that are with all the current trends that are going on, I mean, that's what you wind up with. But I think ATA is that one, the second song, and then You Decide kind of sounds like a Zaytoven beat also. But yeah, I mean, it's catchy. I mean, Usher, he has catchiness to his verses. That's why I like Peace Sign and Birthday. Um, I would say, I thought Gift Shop was good. So yeah, so those are the four songs I would pick. Uh, so She Ain't Tell You and Say What You Want were kind of, just different tastes of R&B. I felt like if there would have been like a third single from the project, that's probably something that would have happened. But that's the problem with R&B. When you listen to it, you usually get like a quick club bound and dance ready song, and then the tempo just changes. I feel like there's something that needs to be in R&B to kind of carry the tide before going with the slower song. But I mean, obviously, here's the thing. This is kind of like, a lot of collaboration albums that have been coming out. This is like, you probably weren't expecting Usher and Zaytoven to do a full album. And if this album wouldn't have come out, we probably wouldn't have gotten Usher until 2019. So 3 years in between, and this is like, hey, this is basically the in between until his next project. Because back in the day, he would put out albums like every 3.5 or 4 years. So it is good to see that, but I would probably give this album, I would say about like a six or so, just because I mean, I like half the album, but the real two best songs to me were Peace Sign and Birthday. And I know Usher can do that kind of R&B, but I mean, it was just, I think the variety had to be there. Women are different minded also. They may want like a different style from him. So I know, appealing to that in R&B, you have to do that. So I'd give this album just a straight six. The social score would get like a 3.5 out of 10. I do feel like they should have promoted this album more, just to kind of help Zaytoven out some. I mean, really, Usher is probably one of the bigger stars that he's messed with. I mean, Migos is pretty big, but I feel like Usher is larger. They could have used a little bit more. I mean, the whole thing about trying to complain about this project is it feels more like a gift than an actual issue of an album. It feels kind of like, hey, this is like a bonus for you more so than this is just, this was something that was planned. It just felt like this was kind of like an extra thing to do. So that's why it's hard to complain about it so much, is because they probably didn't have to do it at all. But I mean, obviously, once again, Peace Sign is a valid song to go for. So for what it is, I mean, the songs are good. I really would just recommend just picking and choosing. I mean, I don't think that all 8 songs are classics, but at least you could probably find, two, three, and maybe in some cases more than that, songs that you'd probably like. So that's what I recommend.